What's happening, guys? Classic Chris here with another episode of the Classic Chris Show. And sorry it took so long, but being a busy guy, it does happen here and there. I just finished putting on my own wrestling show. I helped promote, I was one of the promoters on J Moore Presents Pro Wrestling. It was a great learning experience. Great turnout. I'm going to level with you guys right now. Classic Chris was a little bit nervous on how this show was going to turn out, but hey, I'm glad it happened the way it did. We got an excellent turnout. Fort Erie provided a great crowd. They were energetic, lively, and they really got into the show, which I was very happy about. We had even featured a TNA wrestler, fuck the word superstar. I'm saying wrestler, Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve is a friggin' man. I worked with him before in Neo, so just to get him was just amazing. And if it wasn't for the man Jay Moore, we wouldn't even have had this show. I'm going to tell you that right now. It was a great show, great learning experience, and I cannot wait to put on another show in my hometown again. It's going to happen, guys, so just keep a lookout if you're in the Fort Erie area. Like I'm telling you, if you're from Buffalo, come on over. We brought over some guys from New York. We brought over the Rochester Wrecking Crew. Great tag team. I love watching them. But this episode, since it took so long for me to do one, I'm just going to wing it. Just go off some topics off the top of my head or whatever, But right now, I know I talk a lot of wrestling, so here we go. What is wrong with the WWE? It is boring the fuck out of me right now. I have not made it through a Monday Night Raw in the last 4 weeks. A month. I have not been able to make it through a single Raw. Thank God this Monday we had the NHL Stanley Cup Finals on. I switched. I'm going to admit it. Raw, you're just not entertaining. You run the same format. You run the same show every week. Let's come out and have a 30-minute talk. Yeah. No thanks. Come on, guys. Seriously? Is this what you're trying to provide for entertainment? You might as well just call it the Raw Rewind, because that's what SmackDown shows you, and that's what I'm probably going to start watching. You know what? I'm going to say fuck to Monday Night Raw and start watching SmackDown, because anything that happened important on Raw, we're going to get the recap of it anyways. The major thing, Brock Lesnar being back, it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for his match with Seth Rollins. To me, that is entertainment. But, you know what's not entertainment? John Cena. And I'm going to explain why. He is not the world champion. The champion of your product right now is Seth Rollins. But they're calling him Big Match John. John Cena's the top guy in the WWE. How are you the top guy if you're the United States champion? The top guy is arguably the world champion, is he not? I understand, merchandise sales or whatnot. You've been the face of the company for 1 billion years, it feels like. But dude, enough's enough. Kevin Owens beat you once. Now he's never going to do it again. Just ask Rusev. Ask Bray Wyatt. Ask Ryback. Ask anybody. Dude, you're the reason why people left the company. And Vince, I'm going to put the big blame on you too. I understand, John's a company guy. He's been there for 30 years. I know it's only really been 10 or 12, but still. You're telling me in all that time, you couldn't build up another guy? In the 80s, the 90s, we had multiple guys that you could put the belt on, and it wouldn't affect anything. Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, those guys, all big draws. The 90s, the Attitude Era. I hate using the word Attitude Era because to me that was just late 90s wrestling. You had Steve Austin. You had Bret Hart. You had Shawn Michaels. You had The Rock. You had Triple H. You had The Undertaker. You had The Big Show at that time. You had Kane at that time. You had guys that were coming up in your ranks too. You had the Chris Jerichos. You had the Eddie Guerreros. The Chris Benoits. The Dean Malenkos. The Perry Saturns. The Rob Van Dams. You had all these great players to work with. But yet, for some reason, you decided, in the grand scheme of things, that John Cena was the guy to build everything around. When you had a guy like Kurt Angle, when you had a guy like Brock Lesnar, when you had all these guys, I understand, when John Cena was getting there, he The Rock was kind of leaving to do movies. Steve Austin was leaving. But you still had Kurt Angle. You still had Triple H. You still had a younger Big Show. You still had guys that could work. You had Eddie Guerrero in the tag team division at one point, team with Chavo. You had Kurt Angle team with Chris Benoit, and then you had great tag team matches. You had like, oh man, it bugs me the way that they got behind John Cena so much. Like, you didn't get behind Batista as much. You didn't get behind, well, you did get behind Orton a little bit. But see, here's the thing, though. You went with John and stuck with John. Shoved him down our throats. When we had guys like Edge, even Christian, we had Brock Lesnar. Then you had, like, come on. But John? Like, he's not that entertaining in the ring. Like, for what he does outside the ring, that has no merit on what you do in the ring. And to me, it is BS. Oh, he sells merchandise. So what? Can't do a headlock to save his life. His STF looks like shit. His arms are way too fucking big. Any guy can just pop his head right out, and guess what? I'm out of the hold, basically, almost. Like, that's what it is bugging me. Like, oh, man. You have guys on your roster right now, like Damien Sandow, Curtis Axel, and you're just ruining him. He should not be Macho Miz Dow or Macho Man Dow, whatever the fuck you're calling him now. And Axel Mania was a thing about WrestleMania. Don't turn him into Hulk Hogan. Come on, guys. Now you're calling them the Mega Powers. What the fuck is this shit, man? Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what passes for entertainment? Is this the thoughts that you have going through your head? Because if so, you better wake the fuck up. Because you know what? There's only so much you could sell chicken shit and call it chicken salad before people say, you know what? There's other products that are better. TNA Wrestling, way more entertaining. They have had different world champions that have put on clinics. Clinics in the ring. EY, Bobby Roode, Bobby Lashley, Kurt Angle. Just your last 4 world champions. Good workers, good wrestlers, put on great fucking matches. But because they work for TNA, apparently that company doesn't exist in the wrestling world, which I don't understand. And here's another thing that pisses me off. It's that time of year again. I'm wearing all black. I got the black backdrop. I guess TNA's dead. Why? Because ROH got picked up on Destination America? Don't you see the genius in that? Because now you can market both shows together. Because now when you're selling to advertising on Wednesday nights, guess what? Welcome to Wrestling Wednesdays. We got ROH, we got TNA, and both these shows are more entertaining than anything WWE will ever put together. I'm telling you that right now. Destination America, if they really canceled TNA Wrestling, do you think TNA Wrestling would have got Billy Corgan in there? Do you think they really would have got the lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins in there to be a part of their team? The Dollhouse is coming out to Doll Parts by Hole. They have better theme music now than WWE will ever put together. Billy Corgan is a musician and he knows wrestling. That guy had his own promotion, or still has it, I don't know. But that guy knows wrestling. And you're telling me TNA's dead, but yet they did this. They got Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, but yet TNA is dead. I will not doubt for 1 minute that when someone comes in and needs a theme song, Billy doesn't make it. Musical genius. Everyone remembers Smashing Pumpkins and their hits. Bullet with a Butterfly Wing. The world is a vampire. Come on. You're telling me that wouldn't be a good song for someone to come out to? Oh yeah. And then you got Seth Rollins coming out to whatever he comes out to. Dean Ambrose. That guitar riff is so shitty and repetitive, it is terrible. Billy Corgan farts and it'll have more melody than any song that WWE puts out. Like Cesaro. Woo! Terrible. Terrible. I cannot wait till WWE lets Cesaro go and he goes to TNA or ROH and he finally gets treated with the respect he deserves and the booking he deserves. See, that's the thing that I don't like about WWE. If your name's not John fucking Cena, you get shit on. It's terrible. I understand the whole Roman Reigns thing. I understand it. He's got the look that Vince likes. Just watch the World Bodybuilding Federation or whatever the hell it was called. That's the type of guys he likes. Roman Reigns, he's getting stuff together, which I really like that they're giving him a chance to blossom and bloom instead of just throwing that belt on him. But you know what the thing is? if Batista didn't win that Royal Rumble and Roman Reigns would have won it, people wouldn't have cared, and Roman Reigns could have got a world title run. He would have been in the main event at WrestleMania instead of the YesLMania. And that's, like, you cannot, like, the thing is, too, like, people were so against Roman Reigns this year at the Royal Rumble that they cheered Rusev. But the year before, Roman Reigns was a friggin' man. He eliminated so many people, he was making a name for himself, and he actually deserved to win that Royal Rumble. The way he came out like that. Like, that is something, it was hot. You should have went with it. But they didn't. So, I'm going to blame that on just bad booking. Like, you're telling me, like, with Batista coming in, he had to win the Royal Rumble? You're telling me he couldn't just be in a world title package and won the belt at Elimination Chamber? Then him and Roman Reigns could have put on a clinic at WrestleMania? I don't know. I'm just asking questions here because apparently I'm an internet fan. Watching it since 1986. I'm gonna tell you, my earliest memories as a child was watching WWF wrestling. That's right, WWF wrestling. That's what I used to watch. Okay? And just to see what they're doing to a product that I love so much, and to see how they treat their fans that have supported them for example, me, like 80% of my life, I supported. And I watch, and now you want to slap us in the face? Like, come on. Like, that's not good customer service. It's not good at all. And so, that's why it bugs me when all these WWE sheep and their dirt page cock blowers are saying shit about TNA like that. Oh, TNA is getting canceled. Was there an official saying that? Was it official? Did Destination America actually come out and have a press release saying that we are no longer going to be airing TNA wrestling as of September? Did fucking Dixie Carter come out and say that? No. What did they do? They got Billy Corgan added to their team. So you're telling me that they added Billy Corgan in and they're just going to get scrapped like that without even being on air for a year? Like, come on. Come on. They're getting views. Like, they are getting ratings. It's just they need more advertising. That's what it is. Like, not them promoting their show. They need more advertising revenue coming in. They need people to say, hey, I like this show. I want my product to be available on their commercials. That's about it. They need to sell commercial and ad space. That's the only downfall right now. Like, in WWE, like you bastardize wrestling with this pussified era. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, I just don't get it. Sorry, guys, getting a little dry in the throat. Apparently, that drink's not helping. Gotta go to water to clear this out a bit. Ah, there we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, very rude of me to do that. I apologize. So, if I ever see you out at a bar, I'll buy you a beer. I'll make it up. Okay, guys? But, yeah, that's what bugs me about wrestling. But you know what? I talk a lot about wrestling on the show. So, I'm going to change the subject right here. Okay? Because I've been going on for about almost 14 minutes about the WWE and TNA. I like TNA, so it's always a pleasure. But WWE, you're taking that delight out of wrestling. So, like I said, I was busy, doing my own promotion, helping out with the JMR Pro Wrestling. I was one of the promoters on the show. So, I was busy doing that. Busy doing the Blitz Team videos. Subscribe to Bruce's website, blitzsportsnetwork.com. Check that out. I'm telling you guys, that's where you're going to find a lot of great content. I'm there exclusively on the Monday Night Raw overtime reviews. That we record them late Tuesday and they air normally on Wednesday. Check those out. Blitz has a lot of great content. Like, I want to say this about Bruce. I want to thank him actually for getting me on his panel and for, let me just be a part of his show and using that platform for me to voice some of my opinions, which I thank him for, because there's not a lot of people that do that. Like, I did the first show with him was a SmackDown review, which we had fun. I enjoyed it. I had a blast, and it just turned into more and more. Just Monday Night Raw's been putting me to sleep lately, and That's why I haven't been on those Raw reviews. It's like I feel it's a disservice to you, the viewers, if I didn't watch the show. That's just how I feel, even though it's like the same thing every week. But again, I'm still talking wrestling. Why am I doing that? I do not know. But I'm gonna get on to other things. And, it's just I'm passionate about it, and it literally bugs me that they're taking something I love and just dragging it through the mud. But so yeah, a lot of people, you guys don't know too much about me, so I'm gonna let you into the world of Classic Chris. Some of the things that I do, like I work full time. I got a steady job. I work payouts on slot machines, and I do currency exchange at a local facility in town. I do that stuff. I used to be in bands. For a lot of people that didn't know, yes, Classic Chris used to be a musician. I used to sing in bands. I wrote a lot of lyrics and stuff like that. Like me and my one friend, we had like a little 2-man band going together. We did a lot of original songs. One of the songs I'm very proud of is my tribute to A Nightmare on Elm Street. Welcome to Primetime, Bitch. One of my favorite movies is the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Actually, I'm making a video. Probably when I'm done here, when I'm done with the Classic Chris show, this episode, I'm going to be doing an episode on why I think Freddy Krueger is the best horror movie icon. And Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite horror movie series, excluding the remake. And I explain why I hate the remake so much in that Freddy Krueger, and I will be explaining why I hate that movie so much in my in that video, because I'm a big Freddy fan, and to me, what they did to that character in that remake, watch that video, I'm telling you right now, because I'm going to let loose on it. The Classic Chris show is no time or place for me to explain that, but so I'm going to plug that video when I'm done making it. Check it out. It's why I think Freddy Krueger is the best. I think that's what I'm going to call it. I don't know yet. But yeah, like I'm a big movie buff. Like I love horror movies. Like I just said, comedies are another one, or some of my other favorites. Like I love comedies. Like some of my favorite movies are like The Naked Guns, Ace Ventura's, Major League, like the baseball movies with Charlie Sheen, Hot Shots. Those were hilarious. There's just so many. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Stay Tuned. There's just so many comedies that I like and horrors. Like I'm a big horror fan, but to me, Freddy's just so much better than Jason and Michael Myers. And I'm going to get into that stuff later on in my other video that I'm going to do, because I've been busy. So guys, and I thank you for being patient. So today is there's going to be some content being thrown up. I know there is, because like shit. Like right now it's Wednesday and I'm doing this video, so hopefully I get it up by Friday, and by then the Freddy Krueger video will be done, and there's going to be other videos that I'm doing too, like I think I'm going to be doing a movie on some of my favorite movies from the 80s, like some of my favorite comedies. Like I'm not going to be talking about movies like Caddyshack and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, all the vacations, because to me those are well-known movies, like Ghostbusters and stuff like that. So I'm going to be keeping it to like some movies that I think that a lot of people may not know of. Like you never know. Hey, I might say a movie that you don't know, so check out that video. But speaking of checking out videos, how many people checked out my video with Pearl White? I will be getting her back on the Classic Chris show. We're going to have a follow-up so I can ask her how Camming Con was, and we can talk to her about her new website that's coming up, which, yes, Classic Chris fans, I am a member of her website. And I suggest checking her out. Support the lady. She's beautiful. She's friendly. I've known her for a few years. So you're not going to be wrong with that website. It's pearlsworld.com, or you know what? I'll put it in the description. I'll definitely throw in the prescript in this. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys, but yeah, like I DJ at bars and stuff like that. I'm no longer with a band, so like I have all this equipment and gear. So I figured, like instead of me just letting it collect dust, might as well make some money doing it. Like like I've been able to add to my system. I got new microphones and everything. It's been beautiful. I love DJing. Like I DJ and do karaoke, so technically I can keep the vocal cords still going, stuff like that. And sometimes like I'm kind of forced to sing when I'm DJing, because someone will do we'll get like some karaoke songs. Like they're good, but you can see some people that aren't so good. Which there's nothing wrong with that, because in my opinion, karaoke is all about having fun. If you're having fun, that's all that friggin' matters. But You'll get that one jackass in the crowd like, oh, that person can't sing. Why are you letting them sing? Okay, jackass. Let's see you have the balls come up here and sing a song. Or can you sing better than them? So sometimes, like, like in between singers or something like that, or just to keep things fresh, I'll go in there and I'll do a song, and you guys are probably wondering, like, what songs would I do? Like, I can do almost anything, like The Doors, Smashing Pumpkins. I can even raise my voice up. I can do some Zeppelin. I can do a lot of things. My vocal range is quite out there, and that's another thing. One of my friends suggested that, you know what? There's videos of you like doing some karaoke and stuff. Why don't you put them up? I'm like, I don't think people want to hear that. So if that's something you guys are interested in, you want to see me make a fool of myself, that's cool. I don't care. So if you want to, just leave a comment. Why not, guys? Like, I'm rambling on and on. Like, I've been up here for like about 21 minutes now, and I've been talking music and stuff like that. I'm a big video game fan. Like right now, I've been loving playing my Xbox One. I've been playing Dying Light. Love that game. I'm a big fan of the zombie games. And the main reason why I love playing those zombie games, because they're all about having fun. Like, I love playing my sports games. Like, I love them, but you get very competitive playing sports games, especially with your friends. And a lot of times, my friends would be pissed off at me playing sports. Like playing NHL with them. Because, I shit you not, on PlayStation 2, a lot of times, this one time, I literally turned my back to the screen, skated down the ice, and scored on my friend. He punched me in the arm and said, "You'll never play the game with me again." But I'm sorry. Like, but it's competitive, and I was just being a jerk. I was like, watch this. I'm not even going to be looking at the screen. I'm going to score. And I did, and I don't know how I did it. Dumb luck, but the games, they get too competitive. Like even my WWE games, like, I don't like playing those with my friends either, because I am still the undisputed champion from, I think it's SmackDown, Know Your Role. Like the first one where you're able to make your own world titles and defend them against your friend. That is the only belt I've never lost. I'm still undefeated in world title matches. And a lot of times, like, my friends would get pissed off. They beat me in Intercontinental. They defend it for a while or whatever, but I'm still the first champion. I don't get it. And it just gets too competitive for some, and people get mad at each other. That's why I love games like Dying Light, just going around, just killing some zombies. Or when, let's say, you and your friends team up together and you play on the same team and you just kick the shit out of the computer or something like that. That's fun. Because no one's pissed off, sit around, drink some beer, smoke some joints, play some games. That's right. I like getting baked. I'm gonna cat out of the bag. No. But yeah, like Dying Light, to me, it's so much fun. I'm kind of cheap in that game when I'm surrounded by zombies sometimes. Like, I'll literally stand on top of something just so I can just stomp the zombies without wasting my stamina. You'll get a shitload of kills, build up your experience quick. Other games I like, RPG games. Skyrim, I still haven't beat Skyrim yet because I don't want to beat it. I want that game to keep going on forever, keep going, because I'm having so much fun playing it. I love the Elder Scrolls. Final Fantasy, I grew up playing those. First video game I ever played was Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. I played that. In fact, I'm so into video games that, you know what, I never show up props. I never pull up props, but I'm grabbing this right now because I'm so proud that I got this. To me, this is like a crown jewel of my video game collection. Yes, that is right. Nintendo's own... Oh, right there. No, right there. Nintendo's own WrestleMania. In the box, which I happened to get on eBay, has the poster. Boy, let's get this bad boy out of this little plastic cover, because I love that the guy put it in a plastic cover case for me, too. Like, look at this. Look at this. So good. I'm such a fan. I got stuff dropping. It's all good. But look at that. You got instruction manual. Oh, let's get that on camera. Instruction manual. The poster. And then the cartridge with the cover. Come on. That is golden. Like, I have a working Nintendo, and I love it. I love being able to play Nintendo again. Like, because the Wii is cool, but it's just not the same. I like using the original controllers. To me, that that to me, it's that retro feel. That's what I did as a kid. Like, those are the controllers I know. Just gotta put this away because it is my crown jewel right now, and I gotta make sure that it stays in the best condition I can keep it in. Because this, I'm gonna level with you, Classic Chris fans. This game, I get to the finals all the time, but I never beaten it as a kid. Thank you, adulthood. And then so not just that, like I picked up the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a game I never was able to beat as a kid. I'm getting farther in it as an adult. I'll tell you that. I just love playing my old Nintendo. Actually, I just picked up a system where I can play my old school Genesis, Nintendo, and Super Nintendo games on it. And so I'm not really wasting my original Nintendo, and I can still hook up my original controllers to it. I fucking love it. I love sitting down, relaxing and going into some retro games. There's nothing wrong with that. Game that I've been loving right now from my Xbox One has been Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Xenoverse has been so much fun. I was trying to make a video on that, guys, but, it really wasn't turning out. Like, my camera fucked up during it, so you know what? I said enough's enough, and then I kept playing it, and before I knew it, I was so far into the game, like, I can't really do videos now, unless I just go through and kick the shit out of everybody, which is great. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I made my guy a Saiyan. That's, to me, I love being a Saiyan, just so I can go Super Saiyan and stuff like that. But, on the next one, I might be a Namek, who knows, or maybe even a human. I don't know, I want to try those guys out just to see. Because with humans, you can't really power up. I think you can only do, like, Kato Kens and stuff like that, so, that's something. But, I play video games. I would love watching movies. Big comic book buff. I love my comics. In fact, the way it was Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man that rekindled my love for comics. When I found out that Doc Ock took over Spider-Man's body and then took over as Spider-Man, and they did their own The Superior Spider-Man, I had to jump all on that. I have read every issue of The Superior Spider-Man, loved it. I love how Doc Ock did his thing as Spider-Man. It was a complete different dynamic. I love that. And now they relaunched The Amazing Spider-Man, which I freaking love because Peter Parker's back into control of his body, and now he's back to being the Amazing Spider-Man with the one-liners and the quips and being the cocky bastard that he is. Well, I don't mean to use the word bastard, but you just know what I mean. Like, he's just being cocky as fuck. Like, I love Spider-Man. One of my favorites of all time is Spider-Man. I'm actually surprised I don't have a Spider-Man tattoo yet. But, no, I just love how they're going with it. They did a huge thing called Spider-Verse. I enjoyed that thoroughly. That's where they introduced Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen in an alternate universe where Gwen Stacy was bitten by the spider instead of Peter Parker. It is very interesting. I have her first appearances, multiple issues of that. It's now in the 7th printing, and I have all original printings, which I'm very happy with, because who knows? Gwen Stacy can help this guy retire. But yeah, I love my comics. Like Walking Dead, love it. Way better than a TV show. I'm going to tell you that right now. And speaking of TV shows, now I'm going to get into this. Game of Thrones. Okay. I'm going to talk about Season 5 right now. And here's the thing that I don't understand. With everything that happens in Game of Thrones, up until this season's end, it all happened in the books. Except with the differences of characters in here and there. So, when something happens, why are you getting so upset when, spoiler alert, we already knew it was going to happen? It's called read a damn book. Expand your mind. Like, we all knew that Bolton was going to rape his wife. We didn't know it was going to be Sansa. And I can say that because, hello, season finale already happened, so we all knew the stuff was going to happen. Like Cersei Lannister, Targaryen, with Daenerys, Khaleesi, whatever you want to call her. Everybody just knows what's going on. So, for people to get such an uproar about that, you got an issue? Where is it? Ah, fuck it. I was going to say you got an issue, here's a tissue and grab it with some Kleenex, but fuck it. So, yeah, that's my problem. Like, people are so pussified nowadays that you can't, so you're telling me that if you watch Hills Have Eyes, the remake, and you saw that scene, or Hills Have Eyes to the second scene, you're going to be in an uproar. It was in the freaking books. That's the only problem I have. And I'm not trying to say that it wasn't a bad thing that happened. That is a terrible thing that had happened. But it has to, like, it was in the book. That's all I gotta say. Like I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying, hey, great job HBO and putting it out. No, but it was a part of the story. Leaving that out would throw off the growth of a character, and that's the thing. Like you know what I mean about that. Like there's character development and stuff like that, and just everything that happened. It's like when you look at Jon Snow, he kind of reminds me a lot of Ned Stark. And the reason why I want to say that, Jon Snow was the most honorable guy at the Night's Watch. He's the only guy that was looking at the bigger picture of things. Me, like Ned Stark. He knew Joffrey Baratheon wasn't the real legacy to the king, so he shouldn't have been king. So he was looking at the bigger picture. It's like, I'm going to find the actual replacement. And what happened? Off with his head. Jon Snow, most honorable guy in the Night's Watch, becomes the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, the youngest one to be exact. And he knows how grim the situation is if the White Walkers come and the wildlings are all dead. Because first off, what happens when you get killed by a White Walker and everything like that? They turn you into White Walkers. So basically, you would be literally fucked if you do not have the wildlings on your side. But people at the Night's Watch are so stubborn and can't see the bigger picture, the fact that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, to quote Star Trek. Thank you, Spock. R.I.P. Leonard Nimoy. But just to say that, and what happened to him, which I'm not going to say that because it was the season finale, so I'm not going to say what happened, but for them to be as narrow-minded as they are, it kind of says, are you really the people who want protecting the realm? And now I'm going to get into a little bit on Jon Snow. This is a theory that I have on him. I believe, and I've been saying this since the first book and since the first season of the show. Because actually, if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have read the other books, or the book, just to be exact. I'm going to level with you guys right now. So when I say expand your mind, I had to watch the first season before I expanded mine. So yeah. So here's my thing on Jon Snow. I believe, and I know there's a lot of you out there that believe this as well, that Jon Snow is really the child of Ned Stark's sister, who is kidnapped by the Mad King, and the Mad King. I think he's Daenerys' older brother, or younger brother. I think he's a Targaryen. But if they would have known, if Ned Stark would have said and lay fact, truth to who he was, Robert Baratheon would have killed that kid without thinking twice, because he loved Ned Stark's sister so much. He started a rebellion because how much he loved her. And that, if that doesn't say love, I don't know what does, but she also had feelings for the Mad King. So how do we know that he is not part Targaryen? And that would make a lot of sense, because you have Daenerys over where she is, freeing the slaves, ruling over there. Okay, you're going to need her when the White Walkers come because of the fucking dragons. Fire is one of the things that kill the White Walkers. And same with dragon glass. You can't have dragon glass and fire, an abundance of fire, without dragons. So you need her. And I think that she's going to do so good over there where she is that she would entrust Westeros, or Westeros, whatever the hell it's called. She'll trust the Iron Throne to her brother, Jon Snow. And then we get an epic ending. Because I believe right now with what happened, that there's going to be a resurrection through fire. Or Melisandre, the Red Witch, is going to do something to resurrect Jon Snow, because we all remember the Brotherhood without banners in the previous seasons, right? How many times did that one guy die and been brought back to life because he served the Lord of Light? Come on, guys. So, with that being said, that's just some of the things I feel that they can go with Jon Snow, and I'm going to say it right now that him and Arya Stark has been the most entertaining characters on the show to me. Like Arya Stark, I freaking love that. Like the faceless man training and everything like that. This season and Game of Thrones, every season they're always very slow, but then the last few episodes it just leaves you wanting more, and that's why I like the show so much. Like, but to me, you want a good show. You want a good show. To me, one of the best shows that was ever created, historic, and it's very historical. It's got accuracy in it. Spartacus. Blood and Sand. Watch it. Watch Blood and Sand first, because you kind of have to, so you can understand the characters and know how the show is going to be. Because the second season, Spartacus Gods of the Arena, is supposed to be a prequel to Blood and Sand, because the main character, Andy, he came down with cancer and ended up passing away. But while he was battling it and getting better, they were hoping that this prequel season would give them enough time so Andy could get better, and so they can do Spartacus Vengeance and War of the Damned. If Andy never would have passed away, the show would have gone a lot longer. But then he passed away. We get Vengeance with Liam. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Liam. The only problem is, Andy, he was fucking cut. That guy, like, I want to say that. But Liam, he was way bigger. Like, he was taller and a lot thicker. So when he was with Crixus and stuff, Spartacus kind of looked intimidating. And Crixus, Manu Bennett, that guy did an amazing job. I'm so disappointed that he was not at Niagara Falls Comic Con. That was the only reason why I was going to go to Comic Con, was to meet Manu Bennett. That's right, Niagara Falls Comic Con, not Comic Con. Sorry, Pearl, you got it stuck in my head. But yeah, it's such a good show. If you know anything about ancient history and Spartacus and the slave rebellion, watch that show, because you may not be a fan of Liam in Vengeance, but that guy acted his fucking ass off in War of the Damned. The way everything transpired and the way it did, it was amazing. I love that show. To me, that's how every show should be like. If it has history in it, like historical facts, if it's going to have battles. In Spartacus, every fight scene, every war, we get a beginning, middle, end of that battle. Game of Thrones, we get a black screen for like a split second, end of the battle. Happened in season 1 when Tywin Lannister got knocked out by the Hills tribe, when it smoked him in the head with his hammer or something like that, knocked him out. They did the whole battle. He wakes up at the end of it. It was entertaining to watch, but I would like to see the battle. And I'm telling you, that last episode of Spartacus, oh my god, it's so good. It is so good. And if you do not know the story of Spartacus, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to tell you, watch. This is the order you watch it. You watch Blood and Sand, or you fast forward a little bit of Gods of the Arena so you don't know the ending of Blood and Sand, and then you watch the prequel season first so you can see the rise of Crixus and know how intimidating and how he is his gladiator. And then Xena, Warrior Princess, Lucy Lawless is in the first 3 seasons of Spartacus. And I'm going to say this to all you Xena, Warrior Princess fans. If you ever want to see what it looked like without that breastplate, watch Spartacus. You'll be happy. So yeah, that's Spartacus. That's some TV. Another show I friggin' love. And to me, this is one of my favorite shows of all time. Married with Children. Ed O'Neill, in my opinion, is one of the funniest actors there ever was. I met David Faustino, Bud Bundy, last year at Niagara Falls Comic Con. He was hilarious. It was great to meet him. We did a Whoa Bundy. You know, the Whoa Bundy! You have to laugh after it. For some reason, you just do. I love Married with Children. But the thing about that show was so good that nowadays it wouldn't even be on TV because some of the jokes. Al did a lot of fat jokes. There's one time when there's these larger women coming into a house store. They're protesting him. They're like 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't make fun of our weight. And he said 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna fall through the floor. Like it was just so ridiculous. His organization of No Man, which is the National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood, it's just hilarious. If you haven't seen Married with Children, check that show out. I'm telling you, classic Chris, seal of approval. That one and like, you know how how Saturday Night Live's still going today and strong. They're in the 90s, in the 80s. It could have been the 80s or the 90s. I'm not 100% sure. But In Living Color, Keenan Ivory Wayans and the Wayans brothers put on the best skit comedy show. And honestly, find some footage, watch that show if you want a good laugh. Jim Carrey was was a cast member on the show. He was under the name of James Carrey. He was on that show with guys like Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, Kim Wayans. There's just so many people. Like even Jamie Foxx became a later cast member. Like just so many people. Even Chris Rock did a couple of appearances. Like that, to me, was hilarious. And the only thing that rivaled it was that Saturday Night Live cast when it had Sandler, Farley, and all them. But besides that, In Living Color destroyed Saturday Night Live 9 out of 10 times. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, so I've been talking TV, I've been talking stuff, but, you know, wrestling and everything like that. But so now you're getting a little window of just how I am, guys. Like wrestling, like, you know, just I'm just enjoying myself, you know, shooting the shit, doing these videos. Like to me, this video is a little bit slower paced or whatever compared to my other ones and some of the interviews, but it is what it is. And I am telling you guys again that Pearl White will be back on. We got to get a follow up. We've been talking about it just to talk about Cam and Con because I want to know some stories. I'm sure you guys do too. And so with that being said, guys, you know what? It's been 41 minutes. I'm sure you guys are getting probably bored right now because I'm just rambling on about Game of Thrones and stuff like that. Spartacus. So with that being said, guys, this is Classic Chris. I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to see you on the next episode of the Classic Chris Show. New format, as you can see, I'm doing more video now. So changing the podcast format, going a little bit more video. So hopefully working on getting a green screen put in. It's going to happen, guys. So look forward to that. Like the videos, leave a comment, subscribe. Guys, just keep living, having fun. You know what? Have a great one, guys. Classic Chris, and I'm signing off.